Alright, so welcome back. So this episode I'm going to be using these watercolors. The original plan was these brushes, but as you'll see, that didn't end up being what happened. And we're just going to do some experimenting on this paper. So how I got this paper was I had gotten some watercolor set, and it came with this kind of cheapish feeling watercolor paper. Didn't really have any tooth to it, which interested me, so I decided that I would use them for some experimentation. I think I got like 12 pieces of this paper. So I'm gonna try out some stuff for the next few episodes and see what happens. So, as you can tell from the title, this one will have some actual discussion behind it. And the discussion is, can I watercolor? And do I have skill? Now, you could be, and this is my opinion, is that anyone can watercolor and do art and just be expressive in that. Anyone can. It doesn't really matter how good it is or how pleasing to the eye it is. If it expresses something you feel, then, it's art. It's your art. Some people do dance, some people do sculpture, some people do painting, some people do multiple things like me, where I just kind of do whatever, and whatever catches my opinion is what I do. So using that logic, yes, I very much can watercolor. It is possible for me to watercolor. Do I think I'm the best at it? No. I have lots of things I can learn, but doesn't everyone? Don't all artists have things they can learn? This does not mean that I'm bad at it, though. So, yes, I would say I can watercolor, and I can watercolor better than some, and I can watercolor. Well, it's not even really watercoloring better, it's just having more knowledge of it than some people. I mean, that's really all that art is. It's not really just skill. It's sometimes skill, but art can be taught. It's knowledge. It's just knowledge on knowing how to take what you feel in your head and in your heart and body and putting it on paper. It's kind of why I feel art class is kind of goofy, and silly, because like you're basically teaching me how to do art, which, I mean, again, like anyone can do in their own way. It really doesn't matter how quote unquote good it is. And as for the second half of the title, do I have skill? Yeah, I have skill. I absolutely have skill. Again, this is part of that whole knowledge thing I was talking about, where art is just your knowledge on what to do and how to express yourself. So, do I have some knowledge in art and expression? Yeah, I do. I have lots of knowledge in expression and art tools and just all the sorts of weird things like that. does this necessarily mean I'm skilled? Well, yeah, I have, like I said, I have skill, but it doesn't mean I'm like, super knowledgeable in it, and, going to be perfect at art, as you'll see during hopefully the rest of this channel's existence. A lot of my art ends up being sketches and thumbnails and just scribbles almost. I don't really like finishing art because then that would mean that I've learned all that I could in that piece, and that kind of freaks me out a little, I guess. I don't really know. Um, anyway, away from that existential crisis of a title and discussion, I am using Sumi ink and some uh, liner brushes. I believe they were Kuretake. A lot of what I've been getting is Kuretake recently. Seems like it, anyway. I think these are made of goat and horsehair. Kind of freaky. But I'm gonna assume they just gave the horse and goat a haircut, and that's how they got the brush hairs. I've learned that if you don't cut, like, I think it was sheep, but like a sheep's, if you don't shear a sheep, I think is the way it's said, that their skin will get like an infection with the like bacteria that grows under their fur or their wool. That's kind of freaky to think about. Like, why don't people get that? Like, that should be like. I guess we also take showers and use shampoos that you know exfoliate and get rid of dirt and grime and sweat and dandruff and whatever. But don't you think sheep have something like that too? I don't know. I was just experimenting with this watercolor piece here. When I was doing this art piece, I didn't really know what to call the video title, but what I was going to discuss even. But in my head, I had some stuff pop up where there was question of skill and my ability to do art, and not just art but watercolor. And I mean, I've always had self-questioning about how good I am at something, and I guess that's like the artist dilemma: is am I good enough to keep going? I've talked to a lot of artists in my existence, and I've determined a lot of them have thought that. Um, Heck, I may even try to get some fellow art friends on to this channel, discuss art with them. Seems like that would be cool, fun. I don't know. I'll have to work more on my editing. Maybe I'll make a series like that. Maybe not. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts and dreams on where I want to take this channel, but yeah, it all kind of depends on what happens in the next, months, years, days, weeks, till I get bored, till I get lazy. I don't know. It just depends. I like the pen I was using in this video. It was something new for me. I think they called it a Fude. It was Fude. It was by the company Pentel, I think. Um, I liked the way it worked. It was a lot finer than I was expecting, but it was bolder than what I usually like. And that was kind of a tough thing to do. Again, here comes that problem of trying to learn how to do wrist weight control on a pen. But ultimately, it worked out really well. I was happy with the way it ended up. Well, I look forward to doing more stuff like this, kind of abstract experimental. This makes me think maybe I should try doing some galaxy or space themed stuff. You'll figure out I'm a space nerd. Anyway, that's all. Alright, thank you.